Hey guys, if you're looking to take your forehand to the next level, turn into a real weapon, this is going to be a great video to watch because you're going to learn a lot. What we're going to do is we're going to take actual real players 3.0 all the way to 5.0, and we're going to take a look at those key differences. What are people doing wrong? What are some of the things that people are doing wrong at the 3.0 level that's keeping them to the lower levels of tennis? And then what are the players that are like 5.0 plus? What are they doing that's more like the pros, and how can we emulate that? And make sure you stick around to the end of the video too, because I'm going to show you how you can take it to the next level by joining my 7-day forehand challenge. We're getting ready to start here real soon on March 22nd. So let's dive right into this video so we can take a look at the key differences so you can see how you can take your forehand to the next level. Because I think that anybody who wants a professional style forehand, when you really study the technique, you know exactly what to do and you can follow a system. Anybody can develop this style that you're looking to get. So let's take a look and let's get there. Okay, so right now what we're doing is we're watching a 3.0 tennis match. And I actually think these guys are working hard on their technique. I would say that for a 3.0 level, the technique is they're working in the right direction. You know, they're trying to develop advanced strokes, but they maybe don't have what Rick Macy calls baked in yet. So you can see, looks like he's in a semi-Western grip there, and hitting with some topspin. So that's nice to see. Here comes another forehand coming here. You can see there's the forehand again. What we can start to see is as he's hitting these shots, being pretty conservative with his body, more arming the ball, and not a lot of acceleration, right? A little afraid to pull the trigger because the technique is not what I call baked in. You see what I'm talking about? Maybe using the wrist a little too much, not syncing up his kinetic chain. Let's take a look at some of these in slow motion so we can see what he can do to improve. Okay, so as we're watching this, first of all, we can see the footwork in between shots, which is really going to, you know, the more you have to think about your stroke. Look how he's set up here. This looks pretty nice. Okay, this looks nice, but again, look how far the offhand is from the dominant hand. There's no real setup here. So he's just basically using, his arms are separated. It's going to be hard to really get a nice coil in here. I like how the racket head is up here. You know, this is really nice setup here for a 3.0 player. So this actually looks pretty good. But we're going to see here when he goes to hit that, again, he's being pretty careful and using more of his arm to hit. Look how close and tight and cramped his arm is, which is, again, another very common thing that recreational players do when they hit. So he's coming here. The balance is a little off with the forehand. A lot of arming the ball, just not able to really, you know, get those legs involved. We can see there's no real split step in between shots. So everything looks a little bit of a late reaction, whether he's hitting a forehand or backhand. That's really what caused him to miss this backhand. A lot of times we're thinking of, you know, what are we doing wrong with our stroke? But often, especially at the lower levels, we're going to see as we go up levels that the footwork, and so one of the days that we're going to have in the 7-day forehand challenge is actually an ATP footwork day, right? How to use our feet to hit that ATP forehand. Again, we can see right here, look at how the non-dominant hand is not used at all. So what he does here with his dominant arm is actually pretty good, looks nice, but we can see the core is not loaded at all as we're getting ready to hit this forehand, and having to be pretty careful, and again, pretty cramped as we're seeing on every forehand. So this is a pretty common thing that we're going to see at the lower levels. We can see that he's actually trying to use more advanced technique, but he's having to be too careful because he's having to arm the ball, even though if you asked him if he's using his body, I bet he'd say, yeah, I'm trying to use my body. I'm trying to look like the pros. I'm trying to do the right things here. But we can see footwork's off, not using the kinetic chain. And so on a lot of these shots where he's having whether he's having a forehand or backhand, how do you be pretty careful with his swing? All right, so here he goes again. Look how long the ball's about bounce. Now he's getting set up. It's a little bit of a late setup, hitting in cramped, and that's why he's missing that shot. Okay, so that's the 3.0 forehand. I would say, again, compared to a lot of 3.0 forehands, this guy's actually doing a pretty good job. He's trying to learn the right things. I can see that. So he's on the right track. Now let's go to the 3.5 match. Let's take a look at some 3.5 forehands and see what we have here. So the screen blown up. We're just going to take a look at some forehands. Pretty good serve. Was that an ace? That's a pretty good serve to have an ace at a 3.5 level. And again, what we can see, not much footwork going on. And we can see we're trying to hit topspin. But as this guy's hitting this topspin shots, we can see it's mostly the arm hitting the shot, okay? We don't really see the body being set up much. And we're also seeing a lot of delayed reaction because there's no split steps going on, no real active footwork here as we're going to hit. That's why we're a little late responding to some of these serves, even though it's a pretty good serve for a 3.5 match. This guy's got a pretty good serve weapon. Okay, so here we go, getting set, no split step. And again, using mostly, do you see what he's doing? He's usually mostly the arm to hit these shots. So again, I would say this guy's trying to learn. Let's go back to him. Let's go back, make sure we switch sides. Trying to learn more of an advanced stroke technique. We'll slow it down. But because the footwork's not involved, look at it, not bad. These guys are definitely trying to learn more advanced technique for lots of times when you see it 3.5, you're not even really seeing much stroke production. But you can see, look at that, pretty nice setup. Very nice setup. This is one of his best setups right here. So again, kind of emulating a professional stroke. But now all of a sudden, the arms dropped out of the slot too quickly, and he's just going to end up having to massage it with his arm. Do you see how that was very much armed, his forehand there? I wish I could just get right to the spot I want to show you guys. So you can see that even though we're trying to learn more advanced technique, we're not really using the body. We're like almost faking ourselves out. Looks like right here the guy's trying to use his body. But then as he goes to hit, drops the non-dominant arm out of action too quickly, and then chooses to just kind of massage the ball with his arm, not really using his body, not letting the hip really slide through the shot and really be dominated by the lower body, the legs really kind of creating all the racket head speed, the momentum, the energy, not really happening there. Setting up, but then again, it's just kind of the arm flopping through that shot. So we can see a little more advanced looking than our 3.0 player, but still kind of the same common issues. We're not seeing the footwork involved. We're not seeing that the body is really shooting the shot through. And one of the things that lower level players do is they take for granted all the amazing things as far as creating spacing with their non-dominant hand, letting the hips shoot through. He did a little better job there, but you can still see look how weak that landed. So it's mostly the wrist massaging through the ball, then the entire connect chain hitting the forehand. And when we go through our ATP forehand blueprint, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about when you guys go through the 7-day forehand challenge. That's what's so great about it, is we can start to learn if we're at these levels and we desire to get to the next level with our forehand. We want to hit more like the pros. We can see these guys definitely want to hit more like the pros. I would give them a much higher grade as far as their technique for 3.5 than a lot of players I see playing club tennis at 3.5. So I commend them for trying to really get the advanced stuff in here. So now we're up to a 4.0 level. Let's see. Usually when we get to the 4.0 level, you can start to see differences. You can start to see that for the first time, it looks a little more professional. Obviously, a 4.0 compared to a professional tennis player, that's a lot of levels in between there. But we can start to see that, okay, these are some of our better players at the club. Let me turn down the volume here. So let's see this point here. Jumps into the serve, and now setting up that, well, that's kind of a little lucky duck shot there. Serving it in, setting up, got his forehand, boom. You can see he pushed his body. Do you notice there he pushed his body a little more through that forehand, so his forehand shot a little more through the court. Again, setting up, we can see that the hip's getting a little more involved. Again, for a 4.0, not a bad forehand, probably not a great forehand, but a very Look at that. You see, now there's a good forehand he's hitting. So we can see there that he's starting. He should have crunched and munched that forehand. But we can see the way he was able to set himself up there, that he's starting to use his body more to initiate. We can see right there, we got a spacing issue. We're gonna put this in slow motion. Okay, we're gonna put this in slow motion, but we could start to see that he's using more of his hips to generate the power. Okay, but we can start to see that the hips are starting to generate the power. You see how his body spun around there, which made his opponent have to slide and hit this defensive shot. Now, again, I think here he should have, if he could do it all over again, he didn't need the slices. He could have taken this forehand up the line and put it away. So he kind of overthought himself there, and you can see he's a little disappointed. Don't blame him. Could have done better with that forehand, but we saw that the forehand before, he really used more of his body. So we can start to see this guy a little more advanced than the previous two players, but still we can see it's more of an amateur type forehand. We can see that clearly improve his forehand. Spacing still an issue. He's in between just really letting his body go through the shot and still kind of pushing and massaging the forehand in, as we see both of these players. You can see that return, again, was mostly armed. We'll watch this point in slow motion. Again, mostly arming that slice. Here, let's watch this guy set up for his forehand. Again, nice setup like a pro, but then as he hits it, we can see he's too cramped there. But even with that, even being cramped, he had enough momentum in his body to actually get some more power on that. So there's the 4.0 forehand. We can see that we're kind of in between. We're starting to get there, clearly better than the 3.0 and 3.5 player, but a lot of room for improvement at the same time. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to blow this up. This is a 4.5 Denver singles final match. So we're going to see these players have a little bit more of an advanced style into their game. So let me go here. Where was I? I want to get to, I think I did this guy last time. I want to get to this guy. Okay. Yeah. So pretty good serve. Look how this guy jumps into his serve. So you can already see he's putting more energy, more body into the serve. Missed that forehand there. But we can start to see, look, you see how he's throwing his body into it? Looks like he's just not totally in control of his body. A little harder. It's easier to analyze those forehands, but sometimes you got to wait. I mean, for the serves, sometimes you got to wait for the forehand. So again, look at that. See how his body's kind of circularly rotating through that, using his hips. Definitely a different level. And look at that guy. That looked almost like a professional style forehand. Definitely a different level now. We're seeing the 4.5 player compared to the 4.0s, the 3.5s. Look at that guy set up. You can see his forehands being initiated by the kinetic chain. Again, I think we can see room for improvement, but clearly these guys are creating more power with their legs, with their body, with their hips. Look at that forehand. Pretty good power forehands. Another thing we're starting to notice too is that there's more offensive mindedness going on here. You know, the points aren't lasting very long. There's clearly more weapons happening from the serve and the forehand. So we can see that these guys are dominating play right away from the serves and their forehands. Let's watch again. Bam, using the hips. Nice backhand. Nice, pretty backhand there. Little long. I think we're also seeing, even at the 4.5 level, a little bit of hesitation in their shots, but clearly more offense going on. Nice point there. Let's slow it down. So I'm going to slow it down here. I would think that was a double fault. So we'll slow it down. Now we're starting to get a little more looking like a pro. So we can see we want to get to a 4.5. You're going to look impressive out there. Let's put the sound off here. Moving the feet, setting up. Nice inside out. Watch the setup here. Good setup. Can't quite see that because of the camera angle. Look at that set. Again, also knows how they're cheating. Both these guys are cheating more of their forehand side. Good setup, better spacing. Look at the hip wrap around the forehand. Clearly, we can see now the body's hitting the forehand. A lot less arming, a lot more body, a lot more offense. We'll watch one more point. I think you guys are kind of seeing what I'm talking about here. And then we'll move up to our 5.0 match. And the guy at 5.0 really has amazing forehand. I would say it could easily be a 5.5, 6.0 forehand. These guys definitely think this is exactly their rating at 4.5. Look at that setup with the legs. Look at that forehand. You can see they're letting the ball go more off the racket. Again, nice setup. They're prepared nice and early. Pretty good spacing, could be better. So also we're noticing still, even though they're at a higher level, because they're not set up perfectly, we're still seeing too many routine errors. They're being more offensive minded, but we're still seeing too many routine mistakes on shots that they really shouldn't make a mistake on. Here's setting up in a good position. So their setup is pretty quick here. Let's check out the footwork in between shots. See, again, these are mistakes that just shouldn't happen. These are, nice setting up. They're setting up nice. They're pulling the trigger more. But the reason why these two are not 5.0 players, why they're 4.5 players, is even though they're having nice setups, they're still making routine mistakes that really they shouldn't be for their technique. I think these guys, both these guys, have the potential. Look at that setup. That looks pretty good. A little cramped. I think both these guys have the potential, if they work hard on their game, to be 5.0 players. They're pretty close, but just too many mistakes on routine shots. Look how he's pushing his hip into that backhand. Look at that. Nice, easy, smooth follow through. Look at that. Nice. Look at that follow through on the one-hander. Kind of looked like Gasquet there. Okay, he's probably gonna choose a backhand. Again, a lot of pros in this point would have hit a forehand. All right, here we get to see a nice forehand, setting up, using the offhand. Look at the hip rotation to make that shot happen. Pretty good looking point here, guys. Again, they both have similar setups. Look at how this guy spun his body around to where the back leg was the front leg. Okay, again, same thing here. This is a pretty good looking point. A lot of fun to watch this one. So we can see that they're going for their shots a lot more. Pretty good looking shots. A lot of players would be happy with that. Let's go right here now. This dude has a massive forehand. This is definitely a 5.0 plus player. Probably could play some open tennis. So one we want to really watch. Has very clearly the best fundamentals out of everybody. Look at how much more smoother he hits his shots, easy going, and how that body is really, the shot's really being set up by the body. It's like he just sets it up and then boom, he lets it go. Rips that forehand. Let's take a look at that point again. This guy really dominates play, but even more with the forehand. Like, this is something that if we could develop a forehand like this, you're going to be one of the better players in the area. Regardless of your age, if you have this technique, you're going to be one of the better players in your group for sure. Watch how he sets up here. Boom, look at that. That looks a lot like a pro. Look at the off arm, how long he keeps it engaged, okay? Because that's going to let everything spin through. Look at the racket head, how the racket tip is up, okay? Look at the strings. This looks more like you're going to see on the Pro Tour. And then he comes here, boom, unleashes it with the hips. Look how the front leg, right? This is now the front leg. It was the back leg, okay? So he's literally just kind of spun himself around in that shot. He's recovering, gets his base ready, sets up again the same. The spacing is really good. Pop, just lets that go, crushing the forehand. Watch him dance. Look how he dances in a rhythm. Look at the footwork. Got very active legs. Again, look at how the offhand is always there. Look how he keeps the ball outside of his setup hand. A lot of people don't do this. A lot of people would have the ball coming right under their hand. That's how they get cramped. not this guy. Look at the racket face, okay? Beautiful. Look at the elbow. All this. Watch how his hips are just going to uncoil into this shot. Pa! Look at that, guys. That's how you hit the forehand. We'll watch one more point. Watch one more point. I really love this guy's forehand. This is the kind of work we're going to be putting you guys through a lot of drills so we can start to use this kind of technique. Look at the serve flow. Great kick serve there. Watch the recovery. Now look how far he's going to go out of his way. Look at this, clearly on the backhand side. He's going to go out of his way to hit the forehand. So we can see using the forehand. When we get to the higher level, we're using the forehand as a weapon. We're just not looking to make it in play, and we're letting the shot go. Pop. Okay? Bone crusher, forehand winner. That's what you call a serve plus one play. That'll be another one of our days. We're going to give you guys a bunch of serve plus one drills to practice on your own so you can start to work these patterns out. Again, nice looking serve. Looks like a pro. The guy who he's playing is no slouch either, but watch this setup. The setup is flawless every time. Look how he's using those hips. Getting set. Beautiful stuff. Great forehand here. This might be enough to get him. Is it? Yep, hits a forehand winner of his own. Okay, so we can clearly see, guys, this is the next level. This is the level that we want to copy. No matter what level you are, you know, maybe you're never going to be as good as this guy. This guy is really strong, okay? He's a strong player. Make no mistake about it. 5-0, 5-5, maybe even a 6-0 player. Basically does his forehand everything the right way. This is what we're trying to get. Not a pro, but looks like a pro. I think we can all agree with that. I think we should all give this guy enough credit that even though he's not a pro, he kind of looks like one. Going to stop sharing the screen, come back to you guys. But that's the blueprint. That's what we're trying to get. So we can all try and reach that standard. And that's what the 7-day forehand challenge is about. You get free 48-hour access. If you just want to go through the free version of it that's starting March 22nd, if you're really, really serious about it, you can upgrade to lifetime. As soon as you sign up, I'm going to give you the opportunity to upgrade to lifetime. And make sure you look at the timer. Don't let the timer run out on that page because you can get lifetime access to all 7 days for just $37. That's going to jump up to $67. If you let the week expire, then I don't know when I'm going to bring it back. We have so many challenges this year. I'm not sure I'm going to get to bring it back this year. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But you know, definitely sign up for this because you get 7 days of free instruction, video instruction. We go through the ATP blueprint. We go through the ultimate rally ball, which is basically an aggressive shot that you can dominate points with, but you can also make it feel like you can make it 100 times in a row. We're going to learn how to master the midcourt. We're going to show you guys how to, once you get in the midcourt like that guy does, it's lights out. We're going to show you the correct footwork technique. We're also going to go through the ATP footwork exercises so you can start to dance around and move around like that guy did. Flow rather than think. We want to play in a flow. And then we're also going to have a day where we repeat everything. We're going to give you, just if you want to practice it all in one day, we're going to give you the perfect practice template. So we got a lot of cool things we're going to go through in the 7-day forehand challenge. Make sure you sign up. I'm going to play a commercial right now for it. Make sure you sign up. We're starting March 22nd. If you wait too long, the videos will be taken down. You know, so if you wait till next Wednesday and you're looking for Monday's lesson, it's going to be gone unless you have lifetime access. Then you always have it. So if you like this video, give this video a like. It really makes my day. If you have questions on your forehand, leave them below. And don't forget to subscribe. We're getting up to close to 50,000 subscribers. Once we have to 50,000 subscribers, we're going to have a big party. And I'm going to give somebody a $200 gift certificate to Tennis Express. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And we'll see you all in the next video.
It's time to develop a forehand with massive power and spin without having to give up accuracy and consistency and without having to spend hours and hours on the court every day for the rest of your life. My name is Peter Freeman and I'm the founder of Crunch Time Coaching. You may have seen one of my Upgrade Your Forehand Challenge videos on YouTube where I work with the great Rick Macy, who's worked with the Williams sisters, Andy Roddick. I'm on a mission to learn the truth on what truly makes a great forehand so I could bring the coaching gold back to you. And introducing the 7-day Upgrade Your Forehand Challenge. When you enroll in my challenge today, you're gonna get lifetime access to $1,068 worth of training. The challenge includes 7 days of step-by-step video coaching, the perfect practice plan drill sheet, live coaching, and support from yours truly. Enter your information below and enroll now. It's an insane $1,068 worth of value. If this is finally where your forehand transformation begins, wouldn't it be worth it?